The other day, and this isn't a so the other day video, but the other day, girlfriend was talking to me saying, "Hey, did you hear the FDA is banning trans fats? Like they're just they're gonna make it illegal for like McDonald's or any other food company to use it in their products to sell to you, the consumer." And at first, I was like, "Oh, that's great, because that is it's linked to heart disease. It's a refined, reprocessed form of fat that is no good for you." And I was like, good for the FDA. And then the more I got thinking about it, I was like, wait a second, why are they doing this? And can and should they be doing this? Because the more I think about it, I'm like, who the fuck are they to regulate something like this based on the guidelines of it being unhealthy for you? It's like they're drawing a line in the sand with trans fats, but something like cigarettes and alcohol that are absolutely 100% linked to addiction, disease, and a number of other things, they're just gonna leave that out there? Oh, anyway, I watched a CBS News report, and I have it linked in the video description. You could take a look at that if you want. And a panel discussed a number of things, one of which was, trans fats aren't like, a pack of cigarettes where, it's advertised that they're unhealthy for you, they're unhealthy. Trans fats, however, you don't know where they are all the time. They can be in products that you're taking in, you don't realize it, et cetera, and any amount of trans fats is bad for you. Well, my simple response to that would be then the FDA should issue, restrictions and force companies to have to advertise that there is trans fats in products. They should have to warn the consumer. If it's proven that any amount of trans fats is bad for you, then yeah, there should be a warning on it. But to make it just outright illegal, because people just of willing, sound mind and body, even if people are told trans fats are bad for you, are still going to want to eat food products with trans fats in them anyway, who the fuck is anyone to tell them that they shouldn't do that or that they can't do that? I mean, there's always going to be the thing of saying, you shouldn't do that. But to flat out say you can't do it and your government is going to make it illegal for companies to make it so that you can do that, that's just fucking ridiculous. Now, I'm as big as a health nut as much as the next guy, but why should I really give a flying fuck if any one of you out there wants to eat, McDonald's caked with trans fats every single day of the week? I mean, who really gives a shit? Who should really care? Now, granted, I'm all for promoting healthy lifestyle and, hoping people get healthier lifestyles. But at the same time, I'm all for someone wanting to live the life they want to live as long as it isn't affecting someone else's life. I know people are going to be like, well, the people that eat this food, they make the insurance rates higher and all this and blah, blah, blah. All right, fine. There may be a few peripheral reasons or things that happen because of them. But at the end of the day, who am I to really care? If you want to, drink every day, smoke cigarettes, go eat McDonald's every single day of your life and die by the age of 50, that's your fucking choice. That is your fucking choice. And as far as I'm concerned, you're decreasing the surplus population and you're dying off at an early age. So I don't see how I can't see that as a benefit. It may sound callous to say that, but, something's got to curb the population. Anyway, that's just the sinister part of me talking there. And this whole thing, like the panel said, like, the trans fats aren't even necessary in food product because you could use different types of fat sources and they're just as tasty and et cetera, et cetera. Bullshit! If that was the case, trans fats would have never been used. Another point to this is trans fats have been used for decades now, and then all of a sudden the FDA has a problem with it now. But that aside, the whole thing, like the guy was saying in the that link in the video description, saying it was the lady at that point saying that you can use other fats in foods and they're just as tasty. And the reason why I say bullshit to that is companies like McDonald's or a cake frosting company or a microwave popcorn company, etc., wouldn't use trans fats because it's a significantly more expensive fat to use than natural fat sources. It's a refined fat from vegetable oil. It is something that takes steps of refining. Like, it's like making gasoline, but not quite. All right, maybe that was a bit, of an over-exaggeration. But what I'm saying is, if it didn't make stuff taste better, companies wouldn't use it, and they would use like something like McDonald's that's worried about their overhead costs wouldn't use trans fat sources to flavor their foods. But anyway, just I just don't get where the government steps in on something like this and says something like, oh, if you wanna use a product that's proven to have high addiction value and be proven to increase your chances of getting lung cancer, you can do that. But this trans fat thing that you can have in small doses, no, no, you can't do that. You can't eat yourself to death in this country. We gotta try and stop you from eating yourself to death in this country. Hey, you want to smoke and drink it up? Go ahead. Get cirrhosis of the liver. Get lung cancer. That's fine. We'll put a warning label on the bottles and everything and the packs of cigarettes. That makes it okay. I don't fucking get the decisions of the FDA sometimes. I just really don't. And again, I'm as big as a health nut as you're gonna cross, but man, I do not have a fucking problem if any one of you out there wants to eat, a cheeseburger dipped in pure saturated trans fat. Knock yourselves out. And I don't know, this is like, it's been, in the talks here for a couple of days that the FDA is putting this into motion, and I just get the feeling that people just don't even care. And I don't know, you see the government taking a little step like this, controlling your way to eat, and I don't know. Not to make conspiracy theories out of it, but then you say, what are they going to try and control next? Are they going to eventually take cigarettes, off the shelves? Are they going to take liquor bottles off the shelves, et cetera, et cetera? It's happened before in America. Granted, times were a lot different in the 1920s, and this sure as hell ain't the 1920s anymore. So, anyway, trans fats, I honestly have no problem if people want to consume them. I don't personally want to consume them. I acknowledge that even in small doses, it's bad for you. But again, so is drinking. In moderation, anything is fine. I know they're trying to say that trans fat's like, oh, if you even take a little bit of it in, it's going to increase your chances. You live a healthy lifestyle, you take care of yourself, you'll be fine. You'll live if you eat at McDonald's once a week. You'll be fine. If you have a healthy lifestyle on top of it, it's okay to indulge, even with a little trans fat. Anyway, I don't know, whatever. The government's just trying to control our lives just once more. But again, I don't want to feed the conspiracy theorists too much here. Anyway. Have a great day, everyone, and have some McDonald's tonight. That'll be the first and only time I'll ever tell you to do that. Just make it just this one night a week. Alright? Have a great day, guys.